Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom, when we take the time to speak with small cap CEOs after they put up big news. With us today, because he put up big news again, is Russ Rossi, President CEO of Quizam, trades on the CSC under the stock symbol QQ, and for our friends in the US, QQQFF. As you can see behind him, Quantum One Cannabis, that's a wholly owned subsidiary of Quizam, and more than just a name or a brand. In the past 12 months, they've opened up 5 amazing stores in British Columbia. More importantly, revenues last quarter went from 138,000 to 954,000. That was for ending November 2020. And their most recent revenue up 672% from 170,000 to 1.3 million, and gross profit up 463% to 575,000. I'm just going to round down. They're hitting it out of the park. Russ, welcome back to Agoracom, buddy.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody from beautiful Vancouver. We're pumped. It's Friday, having a great time. And George, great talking to you.
Well, I was about to ask you before we got to the numbers, I was going to say, Russ, how are you guys feeling? But it's pretty obvious how you're feeling. But how does it feel, given the fact that you guys worked so hard to get here, to finally crack that one and smash through that 1 million, that magical 1 million number for the quarter?
Yeah, the whole team is doing a great job. We had our little celebratory discussion on Zoom last week. Everyone's pumped. Everyone's having a good time. We've got a really, really good vibe in our stores. We got a good vibe with the management team, and it's really exciting. It's exciting because not only are we breaking records each month, each week, but we're continuing to accelerate. So, like a 747 takes off and starts climbing and climbing and climbing. At some point, you think we're going to hit cruise, and we haven't hit cruise yet. I mean, we're going through 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet. Pretty soon I'm going to call SpaceX and get something that can go into space, because I'm not sure that this thing's going to level off.
Where's the growth coming from, man? Because this is phenomenal. This is when you're up 672%. Where's that growth coming from?
I think it comes from a couple of areas. We asked that question of ourselves as well. I mean, number one, we take market share from competitors because we offer a very good vibe in the store. We have great, customer service, customer knowledge. We have a little bit of a different kind of like sort of a Miami Vice type vibe in our store. All the other stores have gone a little bit kind of woody, browns, earthy tones. And we thought we didn't want to just be another earthy tone brown wood store. So we thought, hey, let's make it white, flashy, and neon. And that is appealing to people. And on top of that, we don't have, big menu screens you got to order off of. We've gone with the old tried and true and proven. We call it, the jewelry box or the jewelry store display cases. So you come in, all of our product are in locked glass jewelry cases. You can go online, see our stores, and you can come and choose. You see your product, and you see the selection. You can ask about this, ask about that. We have little write-ups about every single item that we have there. We have knowledgeable reps that can talk to you about the different, different reps for different components of the product. And it's nice, and it's kind of like a bit of an old school, but it's a really nice. It's unintimidating. It's sometimes you go into some of these new stores are very flashy and they're very high tech, and you come in and all you see is a big screen scrolling the menu. How can you see what you want from that menu? Some people are not knowledgeable yet. They don't know what the product is.
No, that's the thing, right? I think that's the thing a lot of people miss. This isn't McDonald's where you say, all right, let me take a look at that menu. I know what they got. Let me see what I feel like today. They really need that extra special care and attention because they don't know what they want.
100%. And so that's one component. So just doing a good job, beating out the competition, that's one place that we can steal some growth from, okay? The other one, I believe, is the market is increasing. The market's increasing for 2 reasons. Number one, awareness. Number 2, acceptance. And number 3, I think black market users are starting to migrate over to the legal stores. And that makes sense because if you think that you're used to getting some cannabis from your dealer, there's a certain inconvenience and inconsistency that can happen from your dealer, okay? So now you got a store, even you got to pay a little bit of a premium sometimes, not always, mind you, because, we have some great deals. I mean, right now we're selling like, 10-pack blunts for like 20 bucks. So like a little pack of cigarettes. But the fact when you come to, you have convenience. So you can always go to the store. You don't have to arrange sort of a rendezvous with your dealer. The second thing is you get a consistent, checked safe package with the content of THC, if that's what you want, on the package. So there are advantages, and to go to a
dealer
store
can only provide you pretty much one SKU,
That's
right?
That's right.
But people want choice, and you're right. I think they're moving out of the black market and into the I'll pay a premium because I get more choice, I get more reliability.
Yeah, 100%.
And Quantum One treats me like a real customer. And I walk in and help, and that comes from Quizam's educational media background, right? That you guys are really strong on how to educate your consumers on the cannabis side, which translate into massive growth.
Well, yeah, and you got to remember, I mean, never underestimate your audience. I mean, let's listen to them. Let's listen to our customers. We're not sitting here, we're not dictating to the customers what you should do and how you should buy it. We're listening to them. So we keep migrating and changing, and we call it bracketing, where you can listen to the customer and zero in on what they want. So we keep changing based on what on their demand, on their wants. It's called customer service. We like to give the best service in the world and have the best layout so that they have a great experience when they come in. They have selection, they have reliability, they have knowledge, and they have convenience. So what else would you want?
And they're not going to go to jail.
100%.
They're not going to go to jail, right? So
yeah. Look at the old days. Moonshine, after Prohibition, all these moonshine places, speakeasies, and even moonshine, people making illegal alcohol. That went on for a long time, but pretty soon people said, hey, you know what? I'd rather just get the stuff from the liquor store. Might cost me an extra $1, but I'm getting a nice label. I'm getting alcohol that is that's refined excellently, that's distilled, and it's great tasting, and it's safe. Same thing's happening with cannabis and with CBD products. There are controls in place to make sure that it's safe, consistent, and reliable. And that's slowly eroding. Things don't happen overnight. The black market, and I think that's the other area that's coming from. So
interesting,
great, yeah, we're taking from the competition. We're getting bigger market share, and B, it's the black market. People are coming over to they're leaving the dark side, coming to the white side, and then coming to the force. And of course, the third one is just more public acceptance. I mean, the stigma of cannabis is disappearing, and melting away.
And if we ended the interview there, right, that would be great. Your revenues have skyrocketed, your gross has skyrocketed. Thanks, Russ. See you next time. But this is all happening, and you guys haven't even launched your flagship Vancouver store yet. That's going to be your flagship. Tell everyone at home why it's your flagship, what you guys expect out of it, and where it is, because there's a reason why it's going to be your flagship.
Yeah, there's a great area in Vancouver West Side, corner of Cambie and 41st. And there's a major development going. First of all, there's been a big shopping center and residential area there for years. Okay, Cambie,
largest retail and residential development. That's what.
Yeah, and right now there's one going on right now. I mean, they're densifying, and I think there's 3 or 4 or 5 huge high rises going in there. Huge population concentration. The BC liquor store identified that as one of the biggest markets and gravitational forces for shoppers of alcohol in British Columbia. They have their flagship liquor store there, the Cambie and 41st liquor store. It's the biggest liquor store.
Where are you going to be in relation to them?
Right across the street, staring them right in the eye. We're right across the street. You can throw a football there, okay? And it's right there. The sign's there. We have a great location, and there's already the gravitational pull of the biggest and finest liquor store in British Columbia there. It's a phenomenal location.
How about this? It's hard to imagine. Is that the dream location, Russ? Like, did you guys have to? Did you have to give in a little bit there in order, or did you actually? It's dream location.
Yeah, I mean, it has taken a lot of negotiation, a lot of detective work, a lot of it's been getting these locations is difficult. I mean, they're highly sought after. And fortune favors the brave. So yes, it's been. I mean, we're still dealing with the city now because you have to get the city approval, which they've given us preliminary approval. We have another meeting coming up on the 18th. But getting these things set up require everybody to align. And when I say everybody, I mean obviously it's us, it's the city, it's the province, it's the country. And all these regulators, the building inspectors, license inspectors. I mean, there's a lot of inspectors that you got them all lined up, and so sometimes it's like herding cats. Okay,
but you got 5. The great thing is you're a known quantity right now. You've already
100%. Yeah, 100%. I'm feeling really good about it. Really good. Okay, yeah. So we're really excited about it. We're anxious to get it moving forward as fast as possible. I mean, look,
You got a
we've got
ballpark ETA? You have a ballpark ETA? I know
well, yeah.
can't
I mean,
precise
just I
date.
mean, besides our team, I mean, we've got a full-time person just on this account. I mean, we're every single day we have a liaison with the city, liaison with the government. We've got the provincial license already that we can transfer in, so we're ready. We're ready to go on that. Okay, we're just working through the city. So my guess is, in a perfect world, we could open in end of June. Okay, perfect.
Wow. I thought you were going to say September or something.
No,
like
no, no. Worst case would be November. Okay, so let's say somewhere between end of June and November. Part of the slowdown too is COVID. Remember, all the city offices, a lot of them aren't working at in their city halls. They're working from home. Things slowed down a little bit because of COVID. I think that delay will diminish as COVID starts to leave us. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, I mean that's what it takes, and we're very, very optimistic that we'll have this thing up and running before the end.
So you're growing organically. You're hitting that out of the park. You're growing through an additional store here. What's is 6 the magic number where you say, okay, we got 6 great stores?
No, we're going to 8.
We're
going to 8 for sure. The maximum allowed in BC is 8. We're going to have 8. Okay.
Okay.
There's another quadrant, another area in Vancouver that right now they're not allowing. See, there's still pockets in Vancouver that don't allow cannabis. Okay, in terms of the cities, right? So we've identified those spots. One of them, for instance, is West Vancouver. The council is having discussions right now about legalizing cannabis in their city. So we've taken the initiative. We've actually leased some space in West Vancouver.
Anticipatory.
Yeah, we're anticipating, and we're gonna put a soft application into West Van, probably this week or next week, and just say, if you do decide, we're ready to go, and we'd like to, just so we have our foothold. Getting nice leased properties is tough. So these are great ideas. We're doing the same thing out in Langley. We're doing the same thing in Pitt Meadows. So part of our strategy is not only going into cities that or areas, counties that already allow cannabis, because we're doing that. We're also getting ahead of the ball a bit here to think, okay, you know what? It looks like Langley might be next. Then Pitt Meadows might be next. These are different areas around.
Now, devil's advocate, there's risk there though, right? Because you could end up leasing some space, and 2 years later, it could still be sitting empty. No.
Well, our model. Well, here's our model. Our model is to lease a space, okay, from the landlord, a nice long 10-year lease. We have an out. We have a 24-month out for any reason with a very, very small penalty. And then we sublease this, and we have the right to sublease. For instance, the West Van property, we've already subleased it to a bathing suit company. So they're going to be leasing it and running it there. So we basically have zero risk. We might make money because we have a little clause in their lease contract.
Most important thing is you're not going to be bleeding money out because
no, not at all. We're leasing, subleasing, applying. If it works, we open. If it doesn't, we pay a minimal penalty, very small. I'm talking like $5,000, and we exit the lease. We have 24 months. So we're hedging our bet. Much less expensive than going and trying to buy an existing one, which those prices are between $750,000 and $1.5 million, right? So rather than spend that money buying an existing one, let's get ahead of the game here. And we're really hedging our bet. It's costing us a very, very small amount of money to be able to have these pockets ready to open at a moment's notice.
Are you guys going to grow even in store as far as your offerings go? Are you going to continue to grow that as well? For example, there's only so much flower you can have because George at the end of the day is going to decide on 2 or 3 products, and you can have 50, and you're not going to get that much more revenue from them. But are you going to go into other verticals like beverage if you're not there already?
We have beverage already. Matter of fact, we just put new fridges in our stores. We have ice cold, CBD, and THC beverages in our stores.
Well, I'm going to introduce you to Molecule then, out of Ontario.
We'd love to, but remember, we have to buy all of our stuff from the BC government, right?
Yep.
So if Molecule is on the BC purchase list, then we'd be happy to get them in our orbit.
I think they plan on getting there. It'd be a great trifecta there,
Fantastic, yeah.
Molecule, Agoracom, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be there soon. But
okay, that sounds great. And there's other products here coming out. So there's always new products that we're introducing. But there's also there's talk of other items that they might start selling. They've been talking about magic mushrooms maybe, or they've been talking about other some psychotic drugs that don't have the psychoactive ingredients. They've taken them out so that they have therapeutic therapeutic results or therapeutic applications for people. So whatever the government allows, okay, we certainly are trying it and we test it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, then we move on to a new product.
Yeah, is it fair to say, we'll end off on this, but man, you're ideally positioned not just for growth in store to take it, because you're right, as time goes on, more and more things are going to get legalized.
Yes.
And if you've already got those locations, that means you've got even more pipe to push through.
I mean, of course, they're going to sell them through our stores, right? And BC is it's a blessing. It's a double-edged sword. British Columbia is it's a tough province to get licenses in. Okay, I think any of the other operators will know that. I mean, it's tough. There's a lot of hoops you have to go through. But the other side of the coin is, once you have that, it's really a good business, because they do protect. They have zone protections, so no one's coming within 300-400 meters of you, and that's helpful. Whereas the other jurisdictions, other provinces haven't adopted that philosophy, and sometimes it hurts the retail. If you got like 5 cannabis stores in a row on the same block,
it's terrible for a neighborhood too. Let's face it.
Yeah, and it's terrible. No one's making any money at all. You can't make a living, and it's like so we see both sides of the coin.
Russ, congratulations. Look, the numbers speak for themselves, man. At the end of the day, 1.3 million, 1.305 million in revenue for the quarter, and you're still growing. That's the scary part. So I'm doing back of the napkin math that once you guys get up to 1.66, 1.67 million, you're looking at a pretty big annual number.
Yeah, I mean, we have 5 stores. One of our big stores is in Vancouver. Imagine adding 2 new Vancouver stores. I mean, we could be looking at 4.2, 4. I mean, same time next year, we'll be looking at 5 million a quarter, maybe 6, and strong EBITDA. So this is the jewel. This is a hidden jewel of the pile.
You got it, and the numbers say it. A lot. We always say
this is water, not beer. Okay, this is water, not beer.
Well, no, we don't have a DUI test going on, so don't worry about that.
And it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
I always say third-party validation is everything, right? You've got to either have a partner or a group that believes in you, or you've got to have a customer base and revenues. And you guys are doing amazing things, and I can't wait to see how you guys keep growing. Can't wait till the flagship opens, because when all these limitations are off, all these COVID limitations, we're going to be there and we're going to do an interview. And I'm giving you my word on this, from inside that flagship location sometime in 2021.
Oh, I'm going to hold you to that, buddy. And by the way, we haven't touched on this yet, but we are exploring opportunities in Ontario right now. I'm going to be in Toronto probably beginning of June. And we are looking at some locations, some acquisitions, as well as some organic acquisitions from real estate agents. So after we get our 8 stores in BC, our focus is going to be on Ontario. Okay.
And you guys aren't stopping.
No, it's like a freight train. It's like a freight train, atomic freight train. Okay. Toot, toot. Just stay out of our way.
And I'm going to go, actually, since we said that, and I said that was going to be the last one, but now I just thought about something. You're really setting this company up for a potential exit, because the U.S. when cannabis goes legal federal in the U.S., I presume some real big pocketbooks are going to open up.
Are you joking me? Can you imagine us doing 5-6 months
positioned, and they want to just acquire to grow as fast as possible?
Here's my prediction. Okay, I mean, if we're doing 6 million a quarter, okay, and Biden legalizes in the United States, there's going to be the biggest race to acquire Canadian cannabis companies you've ever seen. And I predict that if we were to sell or take on a U.S. partner alone, it would have such a big impact that the Canadian dollar would even go
up. Your currency moving now. You got Quantum One will be moving currencies.
Yeah, we're moving currency, but there just won't be enough Canadian dollar to buy us. Okay.
I thought you were going to give us. I thought you were going to give us a potential purchase price, which you shouldn't. But I thought you were.
Of course not. No, of course not. I mean, sky's the limit. Okay.
But stocks trading almost at 52-week highs. I mean, it was right there.
It's going. Everything is going great. I mean, we have zero debt. We have a super tight structure. We have a great growth plan. We're in a great sector. I mean, we're checking all the boxes. I mean, if you look at other companies that are in the same space as us, I mean, a lot of them are burdened with debt. They have debentures. They have too much stock out. I mean, just what do we have? 17 million or 18 million shares out. I mean, it's kind of it's a very, very tight company. And once the word gets out, some of us, we used to be a media company. Now we're a cannabis company. That's getting out there. More people are saying, hey, wait a second here. What's this Quantum One? This is a nice jewel. Okay. And I think that people are going to see it and they're going to react to it. And I think we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The numbers, the short term, anything can happen, but long term, you can't keep those numbers down.
Exactly. 100%.
Congratulations, Russ, to you and the entire team over there, man. And love the energy every time we do these. It's not just information. It's not just tell me about Quantum One. It's really great energy and the enthusiasm comes through. So, if that's how you're leading this company, there's no wonder why they're hitting out of the park, man.
Thanks, Stuart. It's always good to see you.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, to Russ Rossi, President CEO of Quizam Media, trades on the CSC under QQ. For our friends in the US, QQQFF, which is now in the OTC QB. Guys, you got to do your due diligence. You've watched or you've heard to what Ross had to say. We can't tell you what to do from here in terms of your decision, but we can tell you do your due diligence. So get to the Quizam hub on Agoracom. Take a look at the profile section. We got the whole story nicely laid out for you. And then from there, get to the Quantum One. You can see the URL right above Russ right there, the quantum1cannabis.com website to do even more due diligence. There's no doubt that cannabis is going to continue to grow in a parabolic state for the next 10 years. And you want to find the winners because we went through that phase where a lot of pretenders came out and failed. And now the market's separating the winners from the pretenders. And we think Quizam is one of them. You got to make your decision. Just don't say 12 months from now when the next 2 flagship stores are open, we didn't tell you so. Have a great day. See you next time.
Take care, buddy. Nice to see you.